The message reached Earth on a quiet night. No one expected it. No one was prepared for it. The signal did not sound like a warning or a threat. It sounded like fear. A trembling voice repeated the same 3 words again and again. Please, help us. In the deep command room of Earth Defense Center, the lights dimmed as the signal played on the speakers. Officers exchanged confused looks. This voice was not human. It was soft, broken, and carried a pain no human ear had ever heard before. Commander Rian stood in the center of the room, arms folded, eyes fixed on the screen that showed nothing but static. He had heard many strange signals from space, but this one felt different. This one felt alive. It felt close. The voice came again, weaker than before. Please, help us. They are coming. The room fell silent. Rian felt a cold wave move down his spine. General Ward finally spoke. It could be a trap. We do not respond until we know who they are. Rian nodded slowly, but something inside him whispered that this was not an enemy's voice. It was a cry, pure, hopeless, and desperate. Earth sent one battleship to investigate. The ship was named Helios Vanguard, one of the strongest vessels in human space. Commander Rian was placed in charge of the mission. As he stepped onto the ship, he felt the weight of thousands of eyes watching him, expecting answers he did not have. The journey to the signal source took hours. The ship moved past the orbit of Neptune, into a dark region where sunlight barely touched. The stars looked colder here. The silence felt thick, like something heavy was hiding in the dark. The signal grew louder as they approached. It no longer sounded like a voice. It sounded like breathing. Slow, painful breathing. Lieutenant Mara looked at her screen and whispered, "Sir, I think someone is dying out there." Rian did not answer. His eyes stayed locked on the large front window as a massive shadow slowly came into view. At first, it looked like a dead moon. But as the ship moved closer, the crew realized it was a vessel, an alien ark. Its hull was broken in many places, long burn marks stretching across its surface. The shields were down, and parts of its outer shell floated in the void around it like pieces of a shattered dream. No one on the Helios Vanguard spoke. They only stared. The alien ship looked like it had survived a monster. Rian gave the order. Prepare to board. As the boarding group crossed the airlock tunnel, the first thing they felt was cold. Not normal cold. Deep cold. A cold that felt like it came from fear itself. The corridor inside the alien ark was silent. Dim blue lights flickered on the walls. Strange markings covered the metal floors. Some looked like warnings. Some looked like prayers. Then they saw movement. A small group of alien survivors sat huddled in the middle of the hallway. Their bodies were thin, their skin cracked like old stone. Their eyes were large and filled with terror. When they saw the humans, they did not run. They did not fight. They knelt. The same trembling voice from the signal spoke again, but this time it came from a real throat. The alien leader raised a shaking hand and whispered, "Please, help us." Mara stepped back in shock. Rian lowered his weapon slowly. The alien tried to stand but collapsed, too weak to move. Rian rushed forward and caught him before he fell. The alien looked up with eyes filled with pain. "They destroyed our world," he whispered. "They burned our cities. They consumed our people. They will come for you next." Rian felt his heart beat faster. "Who are they?" The alien shivered. "The Devourers." The word felt heavy, like a dark cloud settling over them. Another alien weakly reached out. "We escaped, but they will follow the voice. They always follow the voice." Suddenly, the ship shook. The humans froze. "Commander!" Mara shouted through the comms. "Something just entered long-range scanners." Rian lifted the alien gently. "We need to go. Now." The alien shook his head. "Too late. They have found us." On the Helios Vanguard, alarms began to scream. The crew rushed to battle stations. The scanners picked up a shape. Small, sharp, fast, moving straight toward them. Rian ran back to the airlock with the survivors, every step echoing with urgency. As the doors sealed behind them, he could hear the alien ark groaning under some unseen pressure. Back on his ship, he looked at the screen. A dark object moved through space like a living shadow. It was not a ship. It was not a creature. It was something in between. Something hungry. The alien beside him whispered in terror. "That is only a scout. Only one. The smallest one." Rian felt the full meaning of the alien's cry. They did not call humanity for help. They called humanity because they were running out of time. And the enemy was already here. The first Devourer scout did not attack. It only watched. From the command deck of the Helios Vanguard, Commander Rian stared at the dark shape on the screen. It had no clear form. No wings, no engines, no metal plates. It looked like a shadow with a heartbeat, a dark cloud shaped like a living blade. Lieutenant Mara whispered, "Sir, is it alive?" Rian did not answer. He wasn't sure. The alien survivors stood behind him, trembling. Their leader, still weak, slowly raised a shaking hand toward the screen. "That is how it starts," he whispered. "They always send one scout first. One shadow. One taste." Rian felt his chest tighten. What does it do? The alien swallowed hard. "It marks the target." The bridge fell silent. The scout shadow drifted closer to the alien ark they had just left behind. With a slow, smooth motion, the shadow touched the ark's hull. The ship didn't explode. It didn't burn. It didn't break. It simply turned to dust. In seconds, the massive ark that had carried thousands of lives for generations dissolved into a cloud of gray particles. No fire. No sound. No debris. Nothing left. The ark was gone. Mara gasped. "Sir, we need to leave. We can't fight that." Rian gripped the rail tightly. His heartbeat echoed in his ears. "Helm, take us out. Full speed." The Helios Vanguard turned sharply and sped away from the dissolving dust cloud. But the shadow did not follow. It remained still, watching, almost studying them. Only when the human ship crossed a certain distance did the shadow slowly pull back into the darkness and disappear. The alien leader sank to the floor. "This is how our world died. One scout came. Then the swarm." Rian knelt beside him. "How long until the swarm arrives?" The alien closed his eyes. "Not long. You answered our signal. They will follow the voice." Rian stood up. He felt something heavy settle inside him. Not fear, responsibility. "Prepare the survivors for recovery," he ordered. "Get medical teams ready. And someone call Earth Command." Back on Earth, the meeting room exploded with arguments as soon as the report arrived. General Ward slammed his hand on the table. "I warned you. This was a trap." Rian's hologram stood in the center of the room. "With respect, sir, the aliens are not the threat. The thing that destroyed their ship is." The Defense Council murmured among themselves. Ward raised his voice. "We only saw a shadow. No proof it was hostile." Rian leaned forward slightly. An entire ark turned to dust. "Maybe they did it themselves," Ward replied sharply. "We cannot trust unknown beings." Councilwoman Ilara, one of the few who listened, spoke gently. "Commander Rian, describe the creature." Rian breathed out slowly. It moved like smoke, but it felt alive. No clear shape. No heat. No engine trail. It only touched the alien ark, and it collapsed instantly. A long silence followed. Ilara looked at Ward. "No known human weapon can do that." Ward sat back, irritated. "Even if the creature is real, why assume Earth is in danger?" Rian's voice hardened. "Because the alien leader said they follow signals. They track cries for help. They destroy anything that answers." The council members exchanged nervous glances. Ilara asked, "Commander, did the creature follow your ship?" "No. It only watched." "Then maybe we are safe," Ward said quickly. "This is not our fight." Rian stared coldly at him. "With respect, sir, if we do nothing, their swarm will come. It will not care who cried for help. It will only care who heard it." Ward opened his mouth to argue again, but Ilara raised a hand. "Enough. This discussion will continue." The hologram flickered and vanished, leaving the room tense and divided. On the Helios Vanguard, the alien survivors lay in medbeds. Their skin was thin, pale, and cracked like dried stone. Human doctors tried their best, but the aliens were fragile. One young alien girl held Mara's hand. Her voice was soft, almost like a whisper carried by wind. "Do humans fear the dark?" Mara smiled gently. "Sometimes. We feared the devourers for centuries," the girl said. "But fear did not save us." Mara swallowed. "We won't let them hurt you again." The girl shook her head slowly. "It is not us they want now." Mara froze. "What do you mean?" "They tasted your signal. Your world is bright. Your world has life. And they eat life." A cold shiver ran through Mara. Before she could respond, alarms began to ring again. The voice of the ship's AI. No, sorry, replacing. The voice of the ship system alert filled the hall. Unidentified energy wave incoming. Approaching fast. Rian rushed to the bridge. "Mara, report." She pointed at the screen. "Sir, the shadow didn't follow us." Rian frowned. "Then what is this?" Her voice cracked. "This is something bigger." The screen showed a massive ripple in space, like a dark curtain being pulled open. Something enormous moved behind it. The devourers were coming. And this time, it wasn't a scout. The wave of dark energy spread across space like a slow storm. The Helios Vanguard watched it from a safe distance, but safe did not feel real anymore. Every officer on the bridge felt the same cold fear. Something huge was crossing the darkness. Commander Rian stood in front of the main screen, fists tight at his sides. The ripple in space grew wider, like hands pulling apart a curtain. Lieutenant Mara whispered, "Sir, something is entering our space." Rian kept his eyes forward. "Show magnification." The screen zoomed in. A gigantic shape moved behind the wave. It looked like a drifting mountain, dark, twisted, shifting slowly like it was made of moving smoke. Strange glowing cracks ran across its body, opening and closing like breathing wounds. No engines, no lights, no windows. Just a giant, living shadow. The alien leader, still weak, forced himself to stand. His voice shook. "That is not the swarm. That is only a hunter." Rian turned sharply. "A hunter? You mean there are bigger ones?" The alien nodded with trembling fear. "The hunters chase large targets. They follow the scouts. They soften the prey before the swarm arrives." Mara felt her legs weaken. If that is just one hunter, what does their swarm look like? The alien did not answer. Rian activated the secure channel to Earth Command. The hologram of General Ward appeared, annoyed and impatient. "Commander, your last report was exaggerated. No creature of that size can survive in space." Rian stepped aside, showing the live feed behind him. "Explain this then." Ward's expression changed. The giant shadow drifted through space, its form twisting like a living nightmare. Councilwoman Elara quickly joined the transmission. Her face reflected shock. "Commander, how close is it to human territory?" "Too close," Rian answered. "If it continues in this direction, it will reach the outer mining colonies." Ward crossed his arms. "Evacuate the colonies. Prepare defense units. We cannot show fear." Rian stared at him. "We must do more than prepare. We have to understand it. If we don't know how to fight it, then defenses are useless." Ward raised his voice. "We will not rely on alien stories. We have our own strength." Elara interrupted softly. "General, thousands died on their world. Their story is not a lie." Ward glared at the screen. "If they come near Earth, we will destroy them." Rian felt anger rise. "General, you did not see what the scout did. One touch turned a massive arc into dust. If these creatures reach Earth, we cannot win by pride." Ward ended the call. Elara stayed for a moment. "Commander, keep sending reports. I believe you. And I believe those aliens need our protection." Her hologram faded. Hours passed. The hunter shadow did not speed up. It drifted silently, almost lazily, as if it had all the time in the universe. But each minute brought it closer to human space. The Helios Vanguard followed at a controlled distance. Suddenly, the system alert rang again. Emergency signal detected. Human colony under attack. A map appeared on screen. Mara gasped. "Sir, that's Colony Vega 9. Rian's jaw tightened. "Put it on screen." A live feed appeared. What they saw made everyone freeze. Vega 9 was burning. Buildings crushed into dust. Metal structures collapsing without explosions. People running in terror. A smaller devourer creature moved through the colony like a dark wave, swallowing everything in its path. It didn't shoot. It didn't roar. It didn't chase. It simply touched. And everything it touched turned to gray powder. The devourer moved slowly, like it was not in a hurry, like it was feeding. Mara covered her mouth. "Sir, there are no weapons here that can stop that." Rian's voice was cold. "How long until the nearest defense fleet arrives?" 30 minutes. Rian stared at the screen. Vega 9 did not have 30 minutes. On the alien survivor deck, the young alien girl sat quietly, watching the chaos on a small monitor. Her eyes filled with sadness, not fear. Mara approached her. "You should rest." The girl shook her head. "Your people still think they can fight the devourers with metal and fire. My people thought the same." Mara knelt down. "There has to be a way. Something that worked for you." The girl looked at her with a tired smile. "We never found a weapon that destroyed them. But we found something that slowed them." Mara's eyes widened. "What was it?" The girl pointed at a glowing crystal on her wristband. The light inside it flickered like a small flame. "This stone was taken from a fallen star. It carries energy the devourers do not like. We used it to create shields for our last cities. It worked for some time, until the swarm grew stronger." Mara held the small crystal gently. "Can we use this?" The girl nodded slowly. "It will not stop the hunters, but it may weaken the small ones." Mara stood quickly. "Commander Rian needs to see this." On the bridge, Rian stared at the destruction on Vega 9. The colony was disappearing in front of their eyes. Mara rushed in. "Sir, we found something." Before she could explain, the screen flashed. The colony signal went dark. Vega 9 was gone. Rian closed his eyes for a moment. "How many survivors?" "Almost none," Mara whispered. The alien leader stepped forward with trembling steps. "This is only the beginning. If you do nothing, your world will face the same fate." Rian looked at the small crystal in Mara's hand. A tiny spark of hope shimmered inside it. Maybe humanity had a chance. Maybe. But the hunters were still coming, and the swarm would not be far behind. The destruction of Vega 9 spread across human networks within minutes. Every screen on Earth showed the same horrifying image. The colony reduced to a silent field of gray dust. No fire. No bodies. No survivors. Fear spread faster than light. Commander Rian watched the reports from the Helios Vanguard. Every message from Earth Command carried panic under its calm words. Lieutenant Mara stepped beside him. "Sir, people on Earth are scared. They want answers." Rian's jaw tightened. "Then we must give them a reason to hope." Before he could say more, the ship's alert rang. Unidentified object approaching the outer defense line. Mara's eyes widened. "Another devourer scout?" The operator shook his head. "No, sir. This one is bigger." Rian turned to the screen. A second hunter had entered human space. But this one looked even worse. Its body twisted and stretched like moving smoke, dozens of glowing cracks pulsing on its surface. It moved faster than the first hunter. Its presence felt like a storm shaped into a creature. Rian whispered, "They are testing us." Mara nodded with fear. First the scout, then the smaller ones, now this. The alien leader stepped forward, leaning on the wall for support. "They grow stronger as they get closer to their prey. They sense your world. They are hungry." Rian looked at the alien crystal in Mara's hand, the small glowing stone that had slowed the smaller devourers on the alien homeworld. "Prepare a field test," he said. "If this stone can weaken them, we need proof." Mara nodded quickly and ran toward the tech bay. The Helios Vanguard moved toward the outer defense line. Human ships had formed a loose perimeter around the incoming hunter. Their weapons glowed, ready to fire. General Ward hailed Rian. "Commander, you will stay back. This is Earth's fight." Rian answered calmly. "General, those ships are not enough. They don't know what they're facing." Ward smirked. "We will win with human strength. You've been too close to these aliens. You're thinking like them." Rian's voice sharpened. "If you fire now, you will only make it angry." Ward shook his head and ended the call. The human fleet opened fire. Hundreds of energy blasts shot through space, striking the hunter shadow. The creature didn't move. It didn't dodge. It didn't even react. The blasts hit its body and vanished like drops of water falling into smoke. The hunter kept drifting forward, silent and unstoppable. Mara returned to the bridge carrying a glowing device. "Sir, the crystal is ready." Rian looked at her. "Can it touch the target from this distance?" "No, but we can launch it like a flare. If the creature enters its field, we will see the effect." "Do it," Rian ordered. Mara activated the device. A bright beam shot out from the ship, slow-moving, harmless, like a small star drifting through darkness. The hunter moved toward it. Slowly, slowly. Then the moment came. The hunter entered the crystal's energy field. Suddenly, its body shivered. Not much, only a small shake. But it was enough. The creature's form flickered, like a glitch in the dark. Some of the glowing cracks dimmed, shrinking slightly. Mara gasped. "It works! It really works!" The alien leader whispered, "It weakens them, but it will not stop them." Rian nodded. "But weakening is enough. We can fight if they are not at full strength." But the joy lasted only seconds. The hunter turned its head, if it even had a head, toward the Helios Vanguard. It had sensed the energy. The creature suddenly changed direction, moving fast, too fast for comfort. Mara shouted, "Sir, it's coming straight for us." "Evasive!" Rian yelled. The ship turned sharply, engines screaming. But the hunter was closer now, far closer than safety allowed. Its shadow passed close to a human defense frigate. No attack, no strike, just a touch. The frigate dissolved instantly. Rian swallowed hard. "We need to get it away from the fleet." Mara looked at him. "Sir, you want it to chase us?" "Yes," Rian said firmly. "If it follows the crystal's energy, then we can use it." The alien leader nodded slowly. "That is how we survived for years. We distracted them. We led them away from our cities. But we could not run forever." Rian's voice was steady. "We don't need to run forever. We only need time." The Helios Vanguard sped through the outer system, the hunter close behind. It moved like a living shadow storm, twisting and stretching toward the glowing crystal. Mara checked the distance. "Sir, if it gets too close, we will not survive." Rian nodded calmly. "That's why we won't let it." He activated a command. "Deploy the decoy flare." A second crystal device launched from the ship, drifting far away at high speed. The hunter paused, twisted, and turned toward the new target. Mara breathed out in relief. "It took the bait." "Good," Rian said. "Now we know we can control them." His expression hardened. "And now we strike back." Back on Earth, Councilwoman Alara received the latest report. Her voice trembled as she read it. "The Helios Vanguard has found a weakness in the Devourers." General Ward stared at her, stunned. "You mean, humans can fight them?" Alara nodded slowly. "We can fight them," she said, "but we will need help." Ward frowned. "Help? From who?" Alara looked toward the stars. "From the same aliens who begged us for mercy." In deep space, Rian stared at the dark horizon. One hunter down. Many more coming. Humanity had finally struck back. But the first strike was only the beginning. The first hunter had been distracted, but not defeated. And now, deep inside human space, the second wave of shadows arrived. Commander Rian looked at the tactical map on the Helios Vanguard. Red marks flashed across the screen. Human colonies sending last messages before going silent. 4 colonies. All gone in less than an hour. Mara's hands shook on the console. Sir, they're spreading. They're not just following scouts. They're moving like a pack. The alien leader stood behind them, breathing weakly. His voice was soft, but his words were sharp. This is how they overwhelm worlds. They attack many places at once, so you can't save them all. Rian stared at the screen, jaw tight. We have to slow them, even if it's only by minutes. Minutes will not save you, the alien leader whispered. Rian looked at him coldly. Minutes will help us fight back. Earth Command held a meeting. The room was filled with shouting. Every commander, every strategist argued about the same thing. Fight or evacuate. Councilwoman Elara tried to calm them. We must work with the alien survivors. Their crystals weakened the devourers. That is our best chance. General Ward slammed his fist on the table. We will not rely on alien tricks. We have enough firepower to destroy anything. Elara faced him. And how many more colonies will we lose before you accept the truth? Ward looked around the room. Earth stands strong. We do not run. And we do not fear shadows. At that exact moment, a message came through. A single line from a defense satellite near Mars. Something is coming. Ward fell silent. Elara whispered, "Open the feed." The screen flickered, then showed a dark wave moving toward Mars. A large devourer hunter, bigger than anything seen before, coming from the direction of Vega 9. Elara breathed out. They're moving toward the heart of our system. Ward swallowed hard. We need the Helios Vanguard. Back in space, the Helios Vanguard had reached a new position near Mars. The crew worked fast, setting up crystal-based decoy devices, stabilizing shields, and preparing every weapon the ship had. Mara turned to Rian. Sir, Earth Command is asking for our plan. Rian didn't look away from the screen. Tell them humanity is no longer waiting. The alien leader held onto the rail. What will you do? Rian spoke quietly. We take the fight to them. The alien looked shocked. You want to attack the hunters directly? We never dared to do that. Rian turned, eyes sharp. Then maybe that's why your world fell. The alien flinched but nodded slowly. Humans are different. You carry fire inside you. Rian's reply was cold but proud. We don't break. The shadow hunter near Mars grew closer. Human ships formed barriers between the planet and the creature, but fear pulsed in every ship. The Helios Vanguard moved to the front of the formation. Mara activated the new device, a bigger version of the star crystal, shaped into a glowing blue orb. It hummed with energy, brighter than anything the ship had used before. This one is stronger, she said. If the creature gets close, it will weaken much faster. Rian nodded. Launch it. The glowing orb drifted across space. The hunter moved toward it. Then it touched the energy field. The reaction was immediate. The hunter shrieked, not with sound, but with a deep vibration that shook every ship in the fleet. Its body twisted, parts of its dark form melting away like smoke under fire. Mara smiled. It's working. It's losing shape. But the joy ended fast. The hunter's body pulsed. The cracks across its form glowed brighter. It pushed through the crystal's energy and regenerated as quickly as it weakened. Mara's voice cracked. Sir, it's adapting. Rian stepped closer to the screen. Then we adapt faster. He gave the order. All ships fire. Hundreds of beams shot forward. This time, with the creature weakened, the hits made impact. Pieces of its shadow body blew away, breaking into fading ash. The hunter twisted violently, struggling to hold its shape. The alien leader whispered, Humans, you fight like wild stars. But then the creature roared again, its form stretching and splitting into multiple smaller shadows. Mara screamed, Sir! It broke itself apart. The smaller shadows darted like fast knives toward the human fleet. One struck a cruiser. The ship exploded instantly. Another pierced a small escort. It turned to dust in seconds. Rian's voice thundered. Focus fire on the core. Ignore the small ones. Mara found it. Deep inside the twisting mass was a bright center, pulsing like a poisoned heart. All ships, aim at the center. The human fleet fired again. A massive blast hit the center of the hunter. The creature froze. It shook, twisted, collapsed. Then, for the first time in human history, a devourer hunter died. The shadow burst into a wave of gray dust. Silence followed. No one moved. No one spoke. Then the entire human fleet cheered. Some cried. Some shouted in relief. Mara whispered, "Sir, we did it. We actually did it." Rian didn't smile. His voice stayed calm. "No, this was only one. The swarm is still coming." The alien leader stepped forward. "And now, the swarm knows you can hurt them. They will not come quietly." Rian stared into space, voice steady and fearless. "Let them come." For the first time, humanity was not running. Humanity was fighting back with fire. The battle had changed everything. The alien fleet was broken, drifting like dead giants across the dark sea of space. But for humanity, the real danger was only beginning. General Aiden stood inside the command bridge of Fortress Dawn, staring at the live feed of the destroyed alien world. Flames still burned across the surface. Yet something felt wrong. Too easy. Too fast. He spoke quietly, his voice heavy. Something is missing. Their attack was strong, but their hearts were not in it. Mira, the communication officer, turned toward him. They were fighting like soldiers forced to obey, not soldiers fighting by choice. Aiden nodded. He felt the same. The aliens were scared. Too scared. Almost like they were running from something. Suddenly, the room lights flickered. A low rumble spread across the station. Everyone froze. Mira checked her screen. "Sir, we are receiving a new signal." Aiden's eyes narrowed. "From where?" She swallowed. "Not from their fleet. Not from their homeworld. It's coming from deep space. A region with no stars. No maps. No life signs." Aiden stepped closer. "What kind of signal?" She pressed a command. The signal played through the speakers. It was a voice. A deep, ancient, angry voice. Aiden felt his chest tighten. Put it on full volume. A distorted, echoing message filled the room. "We see your strike. We watched your fire. You protect them, but you cannot stop us." The bridge crew went silent. Mira froze in fear. "Sir, that is not their language. This is something else." The screen flickered again. A dark shape appeared. Massive, cold, silent. A living shadow. Aiden whispered, "What are you?" The voice returned. "We are the masters they ran from. The ones they begged you to help them escape. And now, you stand in our way." Aiden felt a chill run down his spine. The plea from the alien refugees. The fear in their eyes. The strange hesitation in their battle. Everything made sense now. Humanity had destroyed the wrong enemy. The true enemy had not even arrived yet. Mira whispered, "Sir, our scans are reading something impossible." "What?" "There is no single ship. It's one body. One creature. A living world." Aiden turned slowly. "A living world?" She nodded. "Yes, and it is moving toward us." The bridge shook again. Gravity shifted. A dark wave crawled across space, bending starlight as it spread. The creature's surface opened like a giant eye, looking directly at humanity's stronghold. The ancient voice spoke again. "You burned our servants. Now we come for you." Aiden clenched his fists. So that was it. The aliens didn't want to attack Earth. They were begging us to help them escape this monster. Mira looked terrified. "Sir, what do we do?" Aiden answered in a cold, steady tone. "We face it, and we fight. Humanity does not kneel." The lights went red. Sirens screamed. A massive shockwave hit the station, pushing it off course. The dark creature began to open, revealing thousands of glowing veins spreading across its surface like burning cracks. The voice roared, Prepare yourselves. Your destruction will echo across the stars. Aiden stood tall, his eyes burning with resolve. They think they can end us. They don't know how humans fight. He pointed toward the main deck. Charge every weapon. Lock every shield. Call every ship. Mira asked softly. Sir, are we going to war again? Aiden nodded. No. This time, we are fighting the true enemy. Outside the station, humanity's fleet shifted into formation, engines glowing like a rising storm. The living world creature opened wider, revealing a shining core of white fire. Mira whispered, Sir, it's charging something. Aiden spoke his final command. Hold your positions. Wait for my signal. And get ready. Because he knew. Earth's sky still carried the scars of the last battle. Dark clouds twisted with smoke, broken lights flickering like tired stars. But humanity stood stronger than ever. Cities were damaged, oceans shaken, and stations in orbit burned. But the human spirit was unbroken. General Hale walked across the command deck of the rebuilt Earth Defense Corps. Every step echoed with the weight of the final decision he had to make. The room was silent except for soft alarms and the hum of power generators recovering from the war. The last surviving alien envoy, the one who had sent the first message, stood inside a shielded glass chamber. His body was weak, his voice even weaker. But his eyes were on Hale. You saved what you could, he whispered. But the true danger, it still lives. Hale's jaw tightened. We destroyed your attackers. No one is left. The alien shook his head sharply. You fought soldiers, but not the mind behind them. A chill moved across every officer in the room. The screens flickered again, this time not from damage. A pattern appeared. A pulse. A slow, repeating signal. Lieutenant Mara leaned forward. General, this is coming from deep space. 7 light hours away. Hale lowered his voice. Is it a distress call? No, sir, Mara whispered, eyes wide. It is a location mark. The alien envoy stepped back in fear. He is calling himself. What do you mean? Hale demanded. The one who built the swarm you destroyed. The one who controls the hives. The one who eats planets. He was watching. And now he knows you are a threat. A silence hit the room like a punch. Then the screens changed again. A single symbol appeared. A terrifying, sharp pattern like a twisted eye. Under it, a message translated automatically. Humanity. We see you. The officers stiffened. Some stepped back. Others grabbed their weapons even though nothing physical stood in the room. Hale did not move. He stared straight at the message, his voice steady. Good. See us. He turned to Mara. Send a return signal. She blinked. What kind? Hale's face hardened into something cold, powerful, and human. Send our coordinates. Let them know exactly where Earth stands. The alien envoy gasped. You invite him? You bring death to yourself. Hale shook his head. No, we invite the truth. If something is coming, better it comes to the strongest place we have. Here. Mara hesitated, then transmitted the signal. The screen flashed. Sent. All of Earth felt the weight of that moment. Then the alien envoy collapsed to his knees. He will come. He will burn every star around you. He has killed billions. Hale looked at him with steady eyes. Then he has never met humanity. A sudden boom shook the station. Officers grabbed onto consoles. The main window dimmed and revealed the dark sky above Earth. A new rift opened in space. Not like the small tears before. This one was the size of a moon. Lightning swirled around it like angry chains. A shape moved behind the rift. Something massive. Something ancient. But Hale did not blink. He spoke into the global channel. This is Earth. This is humanity. Hold the line. Every weapon station on Earth powered up with a thunderous hum. Every ship in orbit turned toward the rift. Every pilot breathed one steady breath. Every soldier locked in. The alien envoy whispered, voice shaking. Why do you fight so hard? Hale answered with a small, fierce smile. Because we don't know how to stop. A deep roar echoed from the rift. The creature behind it stepped closer. Earth answered with the light of 1,000 cannons preparing to fire. The final signal blinked on the screen. Humanity stands. And the last battle began.